I wanted to let you guys know that I'm promoting the Stardust app. I'd like to see your reactions and get them in my videos. I've got some information at the end of this video to get into more detail, so stick around and take a look at that. Hey everybody! Cobra Khan here, and we're going to be watching Solo. The official teaser came out this morning. Now, they had a teaser of the teaser during the Super Bowl last night, and I did end up seeing that. So this one is about a minute longer than that one, so we should get a lot more footage. The other one was very quick. More of just a way of getting something on the Super Bowl to let people know, but they probably didn't want to pay for the time. And I think that was true for a lot of the teasers and trailers that were on there. You know, it's really expensive to put something on the Super Bowl. So, also Disney owns ABC, and they wanted to highlight it during Good Morning America, which is one of their shows, so it probably was free for them to do that. But I wasn't watching that. I was waiting for Star Wars YouTube channel. They just released it like literally 5 minutes ago. So let's check it out, and then we'll go through it afterwards. We'll see what they got.
I've been running scams on the street since I was 10. I was kicked out of the flight academy
Wow, nice.
for having a mind of my own.
So he went into the academy and got kicked out.
I'm gonna be a pilot. Best in the galaxy.
Oh, the Millennium Falcon has never looked so clean.
Hey, kid. I'm putting together a crew.
Woody. Yes, Lando.
You in?
That's yes.
That might be the
I mean,
best.
cinematically it looks good. Reminds me of Rogue One.
What you really are.
What's that?
Oh, that looks cool.
Get ready.
Oh, we're in trouble there for a second, but it's fine. We're fine.
Memorial Day. It's coming out around my birthday. It'll kind of be my birthday present to myself. So he says I've been running scams on the streets since I was 10, which makes sense. That would totally fits in with the Han Solo character. Now, we are getting a feeling of the past. Just like Rogue One did, you know, with the old ships. But even things like this have, like in the city here, you know, a lot of smog. This is probably the, I would think, the base of Coruscant maybe, or it's probably another planet. They're probably not going to use Coruscant. But it reminds me of like the ground level of Coruscant. Just not, you know, not clean and foggy, kind of a Blade Runner-ish feel to it. But this sequence right here, this chase scene,
Kicked out of the flight academy.
you know, a lot of practical effects, which I like. And they did that in Rogue One as well, because practical always looks better than CGI. I wonder how much of the footage Ron Howard reshot. You know, that action sequence there feels like Ron Howard, you know, from stuff I've seen before, but it was shot pretty standard for a good chase sequence. You know, longer cuts, wider shots. So it really could have been either one of them, because the action sequences in Lego, which it was the other two directors, I misplaced their names, but they used to be the director, then they got fired halfway through. Ron Howard came in and took over. So we don't really know how much of it Ron Howard shot. I heard rumors it was like 75-80% of the movie he reshot. So it would be interesting to know what parts he reshot, or what parts, It would be actually, it would be better to just tell us what parts the other directors did, since it was the smaller amount.
For having a mind of my own.
But I find it interesting that he was in the academy and then got kicked out for having a mind of his own. Now, these shots right here is very Ron Howard. Reminds me of like Willow, maybe because it's the snow and there's mountains. But he does really good wide shots, cinematic wide shots. Ridley Scott is also really good at that.
Be a pilot.
And here, the Millennium Falcon has never looked this clean. It's like it was brand new. That's going to be interesting, seeing a brand new, clean Millennium Falcon. Lando Calrissian. Now, this is probably the thing about the movie that I'm most excited about. When I heard that Glover was being cast as Lando, that's when I got excited. Before, you know, and I have low expectations for this movie, but him being cast as Lando, I can't think of anyone more perfect. And I love him as an actor. I love him as an artist. So I think he would put in 110% to give the best performance he could do. And I heard, you know, I saw interviews with him and stuff that him and his family were like obsessed with Lando. When he told his parents that he was going to play Lando, he said something like he could hear his mom in the background say, "Don't mess this up," because that was her favorite character. So I think he's going to probably be the show stealer. He's going to be the best part of the movie, in my opinion. Or at least it could be just my favorite part personally. Now we got an interesting CGI character. It seems like they've got to throw one of those in every movie anyway. But this one looks fairly interesting. It's a different species than what we've seen before. And they tend to want to do that. Sells more toys. I'm just hoping the character has something to it that is interesting. And it's not like that one character that was in Rogue One that looked really interesting in the trailer and was firing the guns from the ship. And then we just didn't see him anymore, and we never got any kind of context for him, no characterization, just that one line and then him shooting the gun, which looked cool, but I was kind of curious to know what his character was. I'm afraid they're going to do the same thing with this character. You know, maybe this is the only scene that this character is in. But I would like to see more. I want to know what this character is. I want context. I want characterization. But I have a feeling we're not going to get that. Chewie, you know, looking pretty much the same age as all of the other movies. And I've heard people say that that's a negative, that Chewie always looks the same age. But Wookiees live like 400 years. So the time period between, you know, the like 60 years between this movie and The Last Jedi, you know, those 60 years are almost like a drop in the hat, because he can live up to 400 years. Like, he's not going to go gray until he's in his last 100 years, and this is probably the prime of his life. He's probably like 100 or 200 years old here. So I don't think he should age too much just because Wookiees live so long. Now, this guy looks okay as Solo. I am concerned with those rumors about that he wasn't doing a good job, and then they brought in an acting coach for him just to get through the movie. But I think those were exaggerated. You know, Disney fired the directors because they weren't doing what they wanted them to do, and they brought in Ron Howard because he would film the script. He was a safe director. He knows what he's doing, and they just wanted him to shoot cast in script. If they're willing to just fire directors halfway through a movie, if this, especially at that moment, if this guy is not doing a decent job, they would have just fired him also and brought in someone else. So I think all of those reports about, you know, him being a horrible actor and them needing an acting coach just to get through the scenes is highly exaggerated. You know, they may have had an acting coach on set, but there's a lot of movies that have acting coaches for just helping in specific scenes, or maybe you know, like being a second unit director of some kind, or just coming in and helping tweak little things. But they're usually not there to like hold their hand through the whole movie. So I think it was exaggerated. I think the guy will do all right. So we're getting a club scene. You've got to have something like this. This reminds me a lot of Canto Bight from The Last Jedi, which was my least favorite part of that movie. I'm kind of hoping this is short. I don't really care about what the upper echelons do. I want to know what the lower echelons do when it comes to money. But they had earlier in this trailer that he was in more of a cantina. That area would be more interesting to me. Another thing with the recent movies like Rogue One and the recent new Star Wars movies, whenever they do a cantina or a club shot, they go through it so fast. Especially with The Force Awakens, they went through that cantina so quick I couldn't see all of the aliens. That's what I liked about the first movie, is they kind of went through and stayed in there a bit, and you got to see the aliens that were going on in the background, or camera would be on them an extra second or two. In these newer movies, they go through it so quick that you don't get to absorb the production value, the costumes, the characters. So I'm hoping they move a little bit slower, or they just stay in that location a bit longer so that we can kind of see what's going on, especially that cantina. This part, though, he could just go upstairs and meet Woody Harrelson or something. I like the way he looks. Kind of reminds me a little bit of an anime character with the stuff coming off the back of his head. And the big, what looks like a sword or a staff of some kind. Now this looks really cool. I want to know where they are. Looks like a lot of smoke. Maybe they're in a nebula. It seems like a very sci-fi thing. Like if you go into a nebula, then their sensors don't work or something like that, and you have to chase them down with the little TIE fighters. But it aesthetically looks cool. You know, the production of it looks cool. And they have a cool fight in there. And I love this move. Bam! I like that move. That is an interesting move. And they've done that with the Millennium Falcon, having some really interesting moves in The Force Awakens and this one in this movie. We didn't get much of anything in The Last Jedi. But I do like seeing the functionality of the Millennium Falcon, because it's such an important ship. It would make sense that the reason he loves it so much is because he can do all this stuff with it. And then we got some tentacle creature, so maybe it's not a nebula. You know, maybe it's just a part of space, or they're on the ground maybe. But you had the Star Destroyer there. Star Destroyer is not going to come into the atmosphere. Yeah, I don't know quite what this monster is, but it's interesting looking. Now, if you know what that monster is, let me know. Maybe I'm missing something. But it looks pretty cool. It looks better than I was expecting. I have low expectations for the film just because of all of the production problems that they had. And even though I liked Rogue One, I had a lot of problems with it, more than I did the other two Star Wars movies. I would have preferred a Boba Fett movie, or maybe a Obi-Wan Kenobi movie with Ewan McGregor. This one, I'm like, but I still want to see it. Like, I love Star Wars. I'm a Star Wars guy. Well, I'm like all sci-fi, but I love Star Wars. I want to see it anyway. I just don't have high expectations, which is a good thing, because if the movie is pretty good, then I'm going to like it. If I go in with really high expectations and the movie is pretty good, then I'm a bit disappointed. So I would prefer to go in with low expectations. So we'll see. I mean, I'm going to see it. It comes out around my birthday. Comment below and let me know your thoughts on this. What do you think about the Solo trailer? Are you excited? Are you not? Are you going to see it? Are you not? I would like to know your thoughts. Let's keep it civil down there. Also, I've got links in the description for all of my stuff, social medias, Patreons, Discord server, all kinds of stuff is down there. So check that out. Like, share, subscribe. tell your friends.
And I will see you on the next video.
Quick promotion, everybody. I'm having fun using the Stardust app, which allows you to make up to a 30-second reaction to movies and TV shows, and I'd love to see your reactions and put them in my videos. If you're interested in that, download the Stardust app. I've got a link to it in the description below, and make sure to follow Koricon. And whenever you make a reaction, make sure that you tag Koricon so that I get notified and can see it. Whenever I make a reaction video or a movie review and I see your video, I will take clips from it and put them in my video. If you're a YouTuber, make sure to put your YouTube channel name on your reaction if you want free promotion. And if you're a fan of my channel and just want to be in there, great. So tag me on your reactions. And to be totally transparent and honest with you guys, when you download the Stardust app, the first person that you follow gets credit for the download. So if you want to follow me and give me credit, make sure that you follow me first. If you want to give your favorite YouTuber a credit, make sure that you follow them first. But either way, make sure that you follow me at some point and tag me in your reactions so I can get them in the videos.